All right, I'm really excited to open this box. And this is not just an unboxing. I mean, there's so many millions of those videos on YouTube. It's like, ooh, what's in the box? Well, okay, so I'm having a little bit of that moment right now. Gabe Griffin he's got a Zl1 1LE like I do, and he thinks outside the box. And for pretty much a year now, since I've owned this car, I've thought about opening up the front grille area to allow more airflow to the radiator. You know, because if you can't get the airflow to it, and there's big obstructions like an impact absorber, which is put there by government officials telling you got to be able to hit a pedestrian at 5 miles an hour and not hurt them. So there's a massive piece of foam on the front of the car, and it blocks the airflow to the radiator. And then you have a impact absorber is what it's called. But every single one of these ZL1s that I've seen at the racetrack that the drivers have lost control of the car and destroyed them, at 20, 30 miles an hour, the impact absorber is not absorbing a lot of impact. It's taking the impact and it's just destroyed. So whether it's there or not is immaterial. So what Gabe's come up with is a means of supporting the front bumper, all the components of the bumper, the tow hook for the bumper, and doing it with a steel impact absorber that is stronger yet lighter because it's come up with really, really phenomenal design. So there was 10 of us initially to buy this so that he would take the one that he made for his car, thinking outside the box, and mass produce them, or not mass produce them, but do a small production run. And so I'm really excited to open this box and share this with you. And no, I don't believe in stupid. I hope he put more stickers in here because I'm putting that. You, bro, you're going right on my lift. First sticker on my lift. Okay, all right, I'm lying. Bucky's got first. This is exactly what I wanted to do, and it was worth paying the money for him to do it. God, look at the packing he put in this. This is a really thick, heavy-duty cardboard box. Oh, this is dope. I'm excited. Oh yeah, baby. It looks so much bigger in the pictures. Now this is one of the big keys to his product. I'm gonna tell you right now, all the bolts. Imagine this opening here is the big fat ass radiator, or my fat ass. And as airflow comes in the front of the car, a lot of times it goes into the radiator, but it has an escape route and it goes around the radiator. Well, that means the radiator's not getting 100% of the efficiency. Well, that's where these come in place. These are the deflectors. Oh, this is so badass. This is so high quality. These are custom made deflectors. So this goes like that, which means this should go like that. These closeout panels force all of the air that goes in the grill of the car to go through the radiator. Doesn't spill over, doesn't go behind the radiator, doesn't go into the engine compartment, which this car already has a huge problem of getting all of that frontal area to dissipate the airflow. When you buy the race model, or a 1LE model, there's lots of little kits that come with the car, and most dealers just throw those kits away, or the owners don't know about them, so they don't get them. But here we go. This is badass, because this doesn't allow any airflow to go around this, pack the air pressure underneath the hood. See, if you're going 150 miles an hour or 100 plus miles an hour, the amount of airflow that goes through the grill has to escape somewhere. So it either goes under the car, it goes around the radiator. When you have a pressure underneath the hood, the airflow of the radiator is mute. It's not going through the radiator. It's not going through the radiator and cooling. And when I say the radiator, there's 4 heat exchangers or 3 heat exchangers immediately in the front of the car. You have your transmission heat exchanger, it's in the bottom. You have your supercharger heat exchanger, which is the front one. Your air conditioning heat exchanger, which you're really not using. And then you have the engine cooling radiator. That's why they put 2 radiators out to the side, so that when you're driving, those other heat exchangers, the auxiliary heat exchanger on the passenger side is for the engine cooling system, and the one on the left is for the supercharger. I'm removing the oil cooler heat exchanger, which just is a passive engine coolant, and I'm mounting a larger heat exchanger right up here. So I got mine unfinished, unpainted, and I'm gonna weld 2 tabs on this, and my heat exchanger will be either down here or up above. I haven't made a decision on where that's gonna go yet. But I'll have a Porsche RSR oil cooler, huge oil cooler, but it's a dual path. So the oil will come in one side, go across the top, and then go right back out the bottom and go straight to the oil filter. The reason I'm putting a separate Porsche oil cooler on this is, one, it's the highest grade of oil cooler you can get, and those engines are oil cooled. So they have to have a high efficiency oil cooler. Going with a dual pass oil cooler means that the oil is going to come in here at the top, go down and go all the way back across and go right back to the engine. I'm not sharing the hot 250 degree plus oil with my engine's cooling system, which I'm trying to keep under 200 degrees. That means my engine oil and my radiator coolant are now separated. I can individually control each one. Both are thermostatically controlled. So this is really exciting for me. I'm really happy to put this on the car, and I really just can't wait to get it done. All right, so the ZL1 Camaro was the very first car in General Motors to have what's called the flow tie. GM engineers considered the cooling of this car so important that they literally opened up the Chevy bow tie logo, and of course enthusiasts call it the flow tie. What about all this being blocked? If this is so critical, well, you can't get past the safety people. And this big plastic impact absorber is designed to help people stay alive, not your car. I'm driving this on the track, and if someone's on the track, this is gonna get removed. And I've been saying this since I got the car. I'm taking this out, and there's a little metal bumper behind it. And my original intent was just to make brackets and hollow that out and allow the oil cooler to mount to it, so the oil cooler would be right here. But now I'm thinking I'm gonna mount the oil cooler up here, so it's out of this airspace here. That way hot air is going from the oil cooler into the top part of the radiator, which will already be hot. So it'll leave the bottom half of the radiator and all the heat exchangers down here for the cold cooling, so to speak. That's why your radiator always discharges in the top, or your engine discharges in the top of the radiator, because heat rises. And then the water pumps pick up at the bottom of the radiator. That's the highest cooling efficiency, is having the coolant and the water or whatever in the bottom of the radiator. If you come over here, you'll see this duct right here is for the brakes. This opening here is the auxiliary heat exchanger for the supercharger. Well, I'm designing an entirely new heat exchanger for the supercharger, which will allow me to not use this for additional supercharging cooling. And what I'm going to do is modify a CSF heat exchanger for a supercharger to make it function for an auxiliary cooler for the transmission. And then this 14 plate heat exchanger is down on the bottom for the transmission is going to get a stacked plate supercharger oil cooler style heat exchanger that's going to have 4 times the capacity of this radiator, and then it's going to come over here to the other side and help cool it as well. So it's going to be a massive addition to cooling this car. I'm going to investigate that and put it on the track on April 9th and test it and share all the results. And I'm really excited to get this done, because we're changing oil on our way to Corvette Expo to go run with Chevys and the Smokies and have a great weekend with a lot of like-minded enthusiasts. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, because you're going to want to see these updates. If you're a ZL1 owner, if you're a 1LE owner, if you're a road racing enthusiast, if you have an A10 equipped SS1LE, 1LE, ZL1 Camaro, I am going to push the limits of what this transmission can do on a road course. I'm not into drag racing. There's a lot of people who do that. They've got this transmission perfected for drag racing. But there's nobody in the country that I know of, other than Ted Giannetti, that understands these cars and races these cars. And so I'm going through the GM testing or training so that I can learn how to program these transmissions and build a transmission tune that's specific for people who want to road race a ZL1. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe, get the notification bell so when I upload a video, you're getting the newest information about what I've done with my ZL1 so that you can follow this path. Whether I screw up or not, we'll find out. I'll definitely, if I make a mistake or if they have to make changes, you guys will know about it. So thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. And well, we'll see you in the next one.